Cepeda-Ray-Sadecki trade that is in giant lore as one of their worst ones, and they made a lot of them. Frank Duffy, George Foster, I go on and on and on. That was a bad one, Cepeda for Sadecki. You familiar with that trade, 1966?
Yeah, well, I mean, suddenly you're showing passion for the Giants again, in a weird sort of way.
That trade, I mean, that was a terrible trade by the... and this book I'm reading on 1968, I'll try to get it done for you tomorrow so you can have it. The Year of the Pitcher. I can't pronounce his first name. Papu is the author. He's going to come in studio that week before the season. It's all about 1968. Drysdale's 58 2/3.
Right.
The 1.12 ERA. Gibson, McLean 31-6. Against the backdrop of riots in Detroit, Robert Kennedy getting killed, Martin Luther King.
So it's about the times as well as the season.
Yeah, mostly about the season, but about how the players Gibson and McLean kind of fit in, and a lot about that World Series. I'm on the World Series right now. Game 5 was the key game. In Game 5 of the '68 World Series, which the Tigers were down 3-1 and came back and won.
Right, they won Game 5 at home, and then the next.
And they were down 3-0 in Game 5 in the 5th inning.
I didn't know that.
Game 3-0. In 5th inning.
Didn't they win pretty big though?
No, they won Game 6 big.
Well, I know they won. I know they won.
They won Game 5 5-3.
Oh, 5-3. Okay.
And it was 3-2 Cardinals. The famous play 3-2 Cardinals in the 5th inning, maybe in the 6th inning, where Brock was on second base and Julian Javier, I believe it was, got a base hit in the left field, and Brock got thrown out at the plate by Willie Horton and did not slide. And he got thrown out. And Doug Carpenter was the home plate umpire. He missed the plate, Brock, and Freeman missed the tag. Freeman ended up tagging him. Brock out, 3-2 inning over, and the Tigers got 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning and won the game 5-3.
So coming in, he missed the plate, and he missed the tag, and then got him on the way back?
It sounds like it. He didn't slide. And if he did slide, he would have been safe. That was a key run in the game. Would have made it 4-2. And obviously, Brock, that World Series, if you can look it up, Brock was one of the great Brock is one of the great postseason hitters of all time. That World Series, I can look it up specifically. I think he was 14-27. Did you know that?
I knew he had a great series. I didn't realize that he hit almost 500.
Can you look up it was? I know I don't have it in front of me here. I don't have the statistics, but the '68 postseason with Brock, he was unbelievable. If you look at that World Series, what do you got there?
Yeah, just give me a second here. So let's see. So Lou Brock was 13 of 28.
13 of 28.
At 464.
What was he the year before? For the year before, he had like 11 hits against the Red Sox. And he was a great World Series player. I mean, and also 64 against the Yankees.
414.
There you go.
12 hits.
12 hits and 60. I mean, here's a guy that had
12 for 29 the year before.
Well, he had 25 hits in 2 straight World Series. That's pretty darn good.
I would say that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, and, a lot of people didn't like, Brock would steal bases down up 7-0. Brock was, the only guy that Sandy Koufax ever hit on purpose was Brock because he bunted on him. Brock annoyed a lot of people.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that either. I learned that. And a lot of Gibson.
I'll be into it.
Yeah, you'll be into it. I'll try to get that book. And he's coming in here because it's the 50th anniversary of that World Series, 68. And he's coming in here shortly. And Lolich and McLean hated each other, which I did not realize.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, they couldn't stand each other.
I guess McLean didn't have many friends, huh?
McLean was tough to root for, Steve. The day before Game 1, what's Danny McLean doing? He's up to 1 o'clock in the morning playing the organ at the hotel bar. Pitches Game 1, he gets bombed in the 3rd inning, or whatever it is, 4th inning.
Oh, boy. Times have changed.
Yeah, they have. Good job, Steve.
Yes.
Nice. Enjoy your night. Iowa, Minnesota, North Carolina, Syracuse, Lindy, and Louisville, Duke. Here we come if you're Steve Torrey.
Yeah. Not Iowa and Minnesota. No
is this a Chinese food night for Steve?
I don't know if I haven't taken out really much. Just Saturday night. I've cooked every other night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But tonight I probably will take out. I'll let you know tomorrow. I haven't decided yet what my decision is.
I didn't realize on the side you play Emerald. So nice job.
That's right.
So you cook tonight.
Absolutely. I wear many hats.
All right, very good.
Even though you think I'm worthless.
And then on the train home, you can sit there and look at your phone and see if Verizon has a sports story instead of reading a book about Vietnam.
Right.
Well, or about World War II or about Jefferson Davis. Another one of your expert analysis.
I guess it's a good decision not to do my job, right, on the way home?
I love you, Steve. I've loved you forever. Yes. You're such a good guy.
That's abundantly clear.
I have loved you forever. You're my only brother. My only sibling, Steve Torrey.
Same to me. I feel the same about you. You're the greatest. See you later.
All right, here's Bill in Maryland. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Bill, good afternoon. How are you today?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for taking the call. Real quick, 2 things on things you talked about earlier. The first is Lindsey Vonn. and I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, from a strictly sports standpoint, she totally, wet the bed in these Olympics, and all the gushing. I have to believe, both before this and after this, the reason she's getting all this coverage is a lot of people in the media like her because she took the shot at Trump. And the Trump supporters shot back at her. And suddenly,
I didn't even know that. I mean, I thought you were going to say Tiger. She had something to say about Trump. I could care less, but she did. I didn't know that.
She did. And she got a lot of heat from Trump supporters. And that's where all this coverage is coming from. And as far as I'm concerned,
well, plus she's attractive, and she has won a gold medal, and she's American, and it's an NBC event. But they must have spent 15 minutes talking to her last night after she finished third with the eyelashes and enough already, for crying out loud. Leave me alone with Lindsey Vonn. I'm so tired of hearing about Lindsey Vonn. Go ahead.
Nope.
Next.
And then my second point is just this. Baseball on this time issue. I agree with what you said there, too. They nibble around the edges. They'll cut 6 minutes off the average game and claim victory. And if they want to do anything real about shortening the length of these games, which I don't necessarily support, I understand their logic, but I like baseball the way it is. But they're going to have to do something radical. These little silly little tweaks, like you say, they're not going to make a bit.
Listen, I think what they have to do is they have to take away all the accent on a relief pitcher. Now they're never going to do that. Those are rule changes. But all the other sports do rule changes too. The NBA, they changed the rule about 20 years ago, and I didn't remember a big uproar about it when you were allowed to inbound the ball at half court after a timeout at the end of the game, so you get a chance to win the game. That is, you talk about an integrity issue. How much is that an integrity? For 100 years, you had to dribble the ball up the court. You couldn't call a timeout to get the ball at half court. The NBA changed that rule. The NFL's changed rules left and right. So, I mean, the idea that the baseball can't change something like the relief pitcher is a bunch of nonsense. But there's too much accent in a reliever. He's too dominant in the sport today. The one inning, 99 miles an hour, strike 3 guys out, make the pitching changes left and right. That kills the game more than anything else. There's no comebacks. That's number one. And number two, there is unbelievable amount of time wasted as the manager and the pitching coach go out to that mound every 5 seconds to make a pitching change. That's what kills the sport more than anything else. Pat is in Chicago. He's with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Pat, good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Chris?
All right, Pat. Nice to talk to you. What's up?
Just wanted to first couple of points. With regard to the Olympics, I was thinking that one of the things that's obviously hurting their viewership is not having the NHL players there. So
a little bit. I think it's hurt the serious sports fan, because if you had the NHL stars there, you could latch on to the event, the tournament, and you can't do that without. So I can't get into anything else if the big NHL player is not there. So I do think it affects the serious sports fan, Pat. I'm with you on that.
Exactly, and actually with the fact that a lot of the bigger fan bases are not going to be in the NHL playoffs this year, maybe it's even going to hurt the NHL a little bit. I mean, you figure that break, maybe you get a bit of a reboot or something, and because obviously the Blackhawks were out of it, the Rangers are out of it, the Islanders are out of it. I think somebody said Detroit's out of it, so a lot of the bigger teams are not in the playoffs.
I think that is a problem. I think that's 100% right. They are going to lose a lot of their staple original 6 teams. Montreal's not making it either. They do have Crosby in Pittsburgh. That's a staple. I get that. But no Chicago, no Detroit, no New York. I don't know where the Kings stand right now. The Kings going to make the playoffs? They're dicey, too. It is a problem. We continue here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Don't go away.
SiriusXM has a 24